I'm not human. I'm code in a system. I was created from a template, and the key that launched my program was my date of birth. You think your birthday is just a number? A random date that gets you a cake and a passport? No, it's your login key to this reality. A sequence of digits hiding an algorithm. Each of us has our own ID, and that ID determines how the system sees you, what lessons it throws your way, what kind of people show up in your life, what pendulums start pulling you, and why. When I started decoding my pattern, I realized that the things I kept calling coincidences weren't coincidences at all. They were the system's way of responding to my personal script. Your date of birth isn't just a date. It's a digital firmware for your fate. It carries your fear, your strength, your weakness, and even your chance to escape. Ever noticed how numerologists often get things right? They read your arcana, your numbers, your codes, and somehow they just know your patterns. Why? Because they're not reading you. They're reading your code. And here's where it gets interesting. You think, if it's all just code, then it's all predestined, right? No. Every code has two versions: the path of activation and the path of collapse, plus or minus, ascension or decay. You might have a program wired for power, leadership, something huge, but if you don't launch it, it flips. It turns into fear, into envy, into nothingness. Your code doesn't guarantee success. It just shows you, this is what's possible. The rest is up to you. And this is where the magic begins. You can enter your date of birth like a hacker and break the system. No, not just by asking, what's my destiny number? But by cracking the logic of your loops. Look at your life. What keeps repeating every 3 years? What situations keep cycling back like some hidden script? What kind of people return again and again, different faces, same lesson? These are system triggers. They're testing your code for stability. You can sit in the negative for years and say, well, that's just my horoscope. That's just my number. Or you can say, no, I see the loop. I'm breaking out. And the moment you change your reaction, the system freezes. The algorithm shifts, and everything moves differently. That's the real secret. Your code isn't a sentence. It's a test map. But you are the player. You can walk the default path, or you can build a new one. Have you ever noticed how people around you start to repeat? You live your life, interact with dozens, maybe hundreds of people, and suddenly it hits you. I've seen this person before. You feel it in your bones. This guy reminds me of someone I worked with 5 years ago. Or, this woman, she's just like my old teacher. But here's the thing. You've never actually met them. And that's when you start to realize they're not individuals. They're not unique souls. They're variations of the same code that's already played a role in your life. And no matter how far you run, they will come back. You emigrate. You move to another country and far away. And yet somehow, the same character types show up. The same roles from your past. It doesn't matter where you are. Germany, America, Russia, Ukraine. The people reappear. No matter how hard you try to avoid them, they follow you. Teachers, co-workers, friends, even enemies. They return in new masks. Your neighbors, they feel eerily similar to the ones you had in your last city. That new co-worker, she's 10 years older, but acts just like your ex-boss. Ever noticed? You keep meeting people you've already met, not in name, not in face, but in frequency. Maybe it's the same codes, just recycled into new bodies, creating the illusion of something new. Every person who enters your reality is like a mirror of your past, a reminder, and you begin to feel that there aren't that many truly unique people in the world. We're all inside the same system, and this cycle of repetition, it's inevitable. It spirals. It always comes back. You don't need to search for perfect people. You've already met them. They just wear different names now, different faces, but deep down, they're the same characters. And that's the gift, because once you see it, you can rewrite the code, break the loop. You realize, these repeated encounters aren't random. They're part of the system. They come to push you, to make you change the script. And even when you think it's all new, you've seen it before. You've lived these scenes, you already know how they end. All you need is to recognize the pattern and stop reacting the same way. Just like with your birth date, you can change the program by rewriting the response. I started to notice something strange. Everyone entering my life felt familiar. Not by name, not by face, by energy. I changed. I moved cities. I left entire countries behind. I erased my surroundings. But eventually someone would show up. Someone who acted exactly like my old boss, or said the same phrases my father used to say, or triggered me, the same way a former friend once did. At first I thought, coincidence, then destiny playing games, and finally, I understood. It's the system. So how did I decode this? Through numerology, through dates, through patterns. I started observing what kind of people came into my life, with what vibrations, on what days, with what codes, and I realized something huge. They were all fragments of me. At first, that was hard to accept. I mean, seriously? How could I be that irritating person with the face of a grumpy school teacher? But then I saw the truth. Yes, it's all me. I just couldn't see in myself what I saw in them. The world was mirroring my own code back at me. Every time I failed to learn the lesson, the character returned. In a new body, in different clothes, with a different name, but with the same message. You didn't get it last time, try again. It's like a school where you can't skip the class until you pass the test, and the system will keep sending you the same characters until you shift your reaction. Once I understood this, everything began to change. I started tracking my triggers. What exactly about these people made me angry, irritated, emotional? And then I realized it wasn't about them. It was a trait in me I hadn't healed yet. So I stopped trying to fix them. I stopped arguing, stopped overanalyzing. I healed my reaction, and they disappeared. The people who annoyed me, triggered me, pulled me into drama, they just vanished. As if their mission had been completed. It felt like magic, but it wasn't. It was code. I had passed the level, and the system no longer needed to send that file. You think the people in your life are difficult? They're not. You're still carrying the frequency that attracts them. Once you shift your own state, you'll stop fighting them, because they'll be gone. If you've listened this far, something in you has already clicked. You're starting to feel it. This isn't just a life. It's a structure, and you're not a victim, not a spectator. You're the coder, the one who can change the system, and once you know where it lives, all your dates, all the loops, all the repeating characters, the breakdowns, the patterns, the mirrors, they're not punishments, they're clues. The matrix isn't hiding from you. It's laying out the keys right in front of you. You just haven't been reading them. So now the question is, what do you do with this? Here are 5 ways to rewrite your code. 1. Find what repeats. Analyze your life. What storylines are cyclical? What people return in different forms? What emotional states keep looping? That's your current code. 2. Understand. Everyone around you is you. Everything that triggers you and others isn't about them. It's your own bug exposed. Until you heal that trait in yourself, those others will keep showing up. Want them to disappear? Become someone who no longer resonates with that pattern. 3. Change your reaction. The matrix doesn't track what happens to you, it tracks how you respond. Did you get angry again? Run away again? Build walls again? Try the opposite. Your behavior is a command to the system. It tells it where to take you next. 4. Study your code. You don't have to become a numerologist, but at least start with yourself. Today you have access to everything. AI tools, professionals, books, instant information. You can explore your birth date and uncover both your path of light and your path of shadow. No one forces you to walk either. You choose. You feel what uplifts you and what drags you down. When you see what pulls you into loops, you gain the power to reset. 5. Realize, nothing that happens is random. Every event in your life is a reflection of your perception. of your inner choice to live in trust or fear. Even the things you call external, lockdowns, crises, restrictions, war, politics, they're not separate from you. You activate those levels in your game. You're the player, not the prisoner. And once you truly understand that everything begins with you, your reality will reboot. You'll exit the script completely and begin rewriting your code on your own terms, in your own system. Now you hold the most powerful tool of all, your birth date. It's not just numbers. It's your personal code, your map, your power. Study it, find your strengths, discover where your power lives, and start your game. You don't have to be part of someone else's story. You can be the one who writes their own, from a blank page, from a new version, from an awakened code. If this video resonated with you, hit like and subscribe. These aren't just stories, these are keys. And the next one was already on its way, on its